Close your eyes and imagine you are walking towards a forest. Ahead of you, at the edge of the forest, you see an animal. What animal is it? And how does it feel? Think of a few adjectives to describe this animal. You enter the forest, and after a short time, you reach a clearing where there is a small house. There is some firewood near the house. Imagine the scene. How much firewood is there? Where is it, and how is it positioned? You enter the house. Inside, there is an old person sitting beside the fire, a man or a woman, according to whichever gender you are. What is this old person like? And how do they feel? You leave the house, but before you close the door behind you, the old person calls you back and says something. What do they say? The path leads you further into the forest. After a while, you meet a girl who has been collecting wild roses. She has a basket of red roses and a basket of white roses. With her permission, you take 10 roses. How many are red and how many are white? You continue walking until, eventually, you arrive at a lake. This is the place you've been looking for. Picture the lake. How is it situated? Is it completely surrounded by trees, or does it have a grassy bank? Is it in the middle of a meadow, or hidden deep in the forest? Keep this area in your mind, the lake and its surroundings. Another animal now enters the scene. What is it? And how does it feel? Again, think of a few adjectives to describe this animal. The journey ends here. So what did it all mean? The first animal you saw, the animal at the edge of the forest, represents your exterior self, the part of yourself you project to the world. This may not reflect your true character, but other people sometimes have this impression of you at first. The positioning of the firewood reflects how organized you are in daily life. Highly organized people tend to imagine the wood stacked carefully in evenly arranged piles. Those who imagine a pyramid-like structure are almost obsessive about organization. The quantity of firewood you imagined is an indication of how far ahead you like to plan your future. People who imagine just one small pile of firewood are unlikely to have concrete plans beyond the current year. The old person you saw inside the house is a projection of how you imagine yourself in old age. What the old person said to you as you were leaving reveals the advice you would give to a younger version of yourself. Perhaps it also reflects your attitude towards young people in general. The roses represent love. The white roses stand for the love you give, particularly in romantic relationships. And the red roses stand for the love you receive. The position of the lake indicates whether you are more open or private as a person. Someone who is highly private, for example, might imagine a lake hidden deep in the forest, completely surrounded by trees. Finally, the animal that came into the lake area at the end of your journey represents your true self. While the world sometimes sees you as the first animal you imagined, it is this second animal in the heart of the forest that represents who you really are. There is one last question. When you arrived at the lake, what time of day was it? Was the sun still shining? Had it set? Or was it already dark? The later in the day it was, the more fixed your characteristics are.